Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So in this video, we're going to be doing a little money making method which could be very beneficial to do over bonus XP if you did have some time spare, or if you need to go make some GP just to top up your cash stack, ready to go and buy some more stuff to gain some more XP and bonus XP. So this money making method has been one of the most solid ways to make money probably for a couple of years now, or basically ever since archaeology was released. We're going to be sifting soil. Now this money making method had a massive bump up with the update to the lunar spells and the ability to sift soil through the lunar spellbook. By having this spell now, you can now sift soil at the bank, which makes banking your items really easy, but also makes it really convenient just to use presets to sift for soils, rather than running back and forward from the wash plant in the archaeology guild. So what we're going to do is going to have a quick look at comparing the different soils. Now we're going to go and hop over to the wiki for this, because the wiki has a fantastic way of displaying which soils are the best and why they are the best as well, with a rough breakdown of where you're going to be making your GP from sifting these soils. So on the wiki, you can go to the screening using the sift soil spell. Again, it has the same thing for using it in the wash plants. We're going to go and talk through the wash plants anyway on what things we can do. But in terms of doing this, so the only outlay you should really have is the soils itself, the astral runes, which should be one per one soil, because we're going to be using an elemental battle staff to cover the water and earth runes. And then finally, a binding contract for a water fiend, because that has the chance of finding extra artifacts, as well as materials as well, which is just going to give you some XP and some more GP as well. So what the wiki has the ability to do, because you have all the tabs for all the different soils, you can just hop along and then check the profits here for whatever soil is currently making the most. As you can see, for once, surprisingly, I don't know why, but the ancient gravel is actually making the most profit. The ones which are really sticking out this week are the ancient gravel, saltwater mud, and earth and clay. Now this doesn't mean it's going to stay like this forever. The prices of the archaeology materials change consistently. Like, one of the big things we notice on Market Watch is that the up and down of the archaeology materials is consistent, and it happens all the time. Things change around so much in the archaeology market that it's hard to keep track of one thing unless you're dialed into that actual collection set. But things change around so much in prices. But what the good thing is that because of how this is on the wiki, it will reflect it at any given time. So before you actually choose a soil to choose, I would check the wiki on what's making the most and then sort of focus on that as well. But with buy limits and stuff, variety is good. So go with it. 3 soils as a choice, and then have your preference of the 3. And if you have to go to the lesser ones, they'll still make you decent profit as well. However, some stuff to run through while we are here. In terms of doing this method itself, you're going to need Night Well Mage and also the Lunar Spellbook unlocked. I believe you need to do the final quest, which is Dream Mentor, I think, to be able to have the whole spellbook unlocked. In terms of archaeology levels, 99, but 120 really is recommended because you've got a greater chance of finding more materials the higher your archaeology level is. 50 summons recommended for the water fiend, but that will bring you in some more materials and probably some artifacts, and also the Guildmaster qualification in the archaeology guild, which if you're 99, you should already have. In terms of experience gain, this spell is actually really good XP, which for once a spell or a money making method which actually makes really good profit actually pulls in decent XP as well. Doing this for an hour will grant you 465,000 magic XP and 100k archaeology XP. That's really good for a money making method. Normally you're sacrificing XP for GP, whereas with this method you're getting both in abundance. So we're going to concentrate for this video on ancient gravel, but again, before you do this method, if you want to do this method, make sure to check which one is making the most profits. Another benefit of the wiki as well is that it also has the screening option as well. So this is where you're going to be using the screening plant. And although it doesn't have the option for all the things, all the different soils, it will have them as separate money making methods as well. Now, this is still a very viable option. Again, you still want some of the base things we're going to talk about in a second, but we'll talk through this in a little bit of detail later on as well. So back to the game, that is pretty much what we're looking to do. So what I need to go and do now is just go and buy some of the ancient gravel. And again, ancient gravel, because it's more of a free to play gravel, it's surprising that it's making the most money. Pick your gravel up. If you don't have the soil box, take your magic notepaper. Magic notepaper is so cheap now, you're still making profits even if you do use that as well. So speaking of that, in terms of a setup, items which are really sort of critical, the Mass Archaeology outfit does have its huge benefit, definitely have that. In terms of banking items, you can either go to your info, or if you want it to be more AFK, you can use the Grace of the Elves with your Premier Artifact, as a combination as well. You will save money. You will still make money even though you are using your Grace of Elves anyway. The Elemental Battle Staff will save you a fortune. That's an absolute non-compromise. You could use a Mud Battle Staff, but I think for the 2 mil cost it's going to be, it is so worth using the Elemental Battle Staff. It's going to have uses for all the lunar spells, not just this one, so definitely pick it up. The Archaeology Soil Box is massive for this money making method, only because it will hold a huge stack of your soil. And not only that as well, you can use it from this archaeology box. I haven't upgraded it to the max tier. It can actually go up to 500, which I think I'm actually considering doing now if I've got the crow notes for it. If not, it'll be something I'll be doing in the future anyway. And basically what you can do is you can use your soil box to do all your soil. So if I just do this real quick, I can do it in chunks of 100 because I've got the ability to do it from the archaeological soil box. Again, you can stand right next to the area where you deposit all your materials. We'll actually go to the guild. So if you really wanted to, you could just stand right next to the storage container and just deposit it whenever your info is full. Again, we're just going to sit and start doing this now, and then we'll talk about it in a second. It's going straight to the bank. I'm going to toggle off my Grace of the Elves, which then means, as you can see here, all the materials are just going to come to my info. And again, this is viable. You don't actually have to do it with the Grace of the Elves. The Grace of the Elves is just convenient in AFK. If you want to just stand next to the deposit box and just go from your archaeology soil box, that is very, very much viable as well. But you will just have to be a bit more interactive and just bank a bit more occasionally as well. Now, I forgot the Water Fiend. You should bring the Water Fiend. The Water Fiend is very beneficial. It will give you extra profits in the long run as well. But as you can see here, because of my archaeology level, I am pretty much getting a piece of materials every sort of go. But one of the things I would highly recommend, if you're going to do this method, upgrade your soil box to 500 spaces. It is huge, 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 and really worthwhile doing. But as you can see, this is all just like sheer money. If we're going to price check the info, let's do that. 131k, and we paid 1k each for the soil. Let's say that an actual rune is 1,000 coins, 2,000 coins, 23 slots. It's going to be 60k. 60k, and we've turned that into 130. So we're pretty much doubling our profit. And even then, I've really exaggerated the prices we're going to pay as well. And that could just be a bad info. Like, if you're going to get more colour, more of a Tyrian purple, and more of a more high sort out things like the Blood of Orcus, you're going to make more profit per info. But as you can see, we're just printing out archaeology materials. And with bonus XP coming up soon, this is why this could be such a huge way to make GP. It's because bonus XP, how archaeology works, is very similar to invention. You get the artifacts twice as quick. Getting the artifacts twice as quick means you're getting materials half speed. And half the materials coming into the game means that people will need to buy archaeology materials to be able to fix their archaeology artifacts. You're getting a massive non-surplus of materials coming into the game, which means demand goes up, which means price goes up. And if price goes up, if you're sat here printing archaeology materials a lot quicker than they're coming in the game, you're making profits. And again, this just doesn't work with ancient gravel. It will work with all the ones we looked at. All of the gravels make profit. Some just make more depending on what items are up in price. If there's a trend on Market Watch we've spotted where we can see that Bandos items have gone really, really high in price, we can just sit and focus and just do Bandos soil for a while. And you will make the profit from that, and especially something which is in demand or excessively high in demand on the Grand Exchange, you will make even more money as a result. Right, so that's going to be the end of us using the Sift Soil spell. Again, you saw the speed at which we got the archaeology materials, you saw how easy it was, you saw how little grief it gave us. Now, the other option, if you didn't have the ability to use Sift Soil, is just to come over here into the wash plant, and again, for the wash plant, the bigger tier of archaeological soil box you've got, the better it's going to be for you. Now, you've got two options here, pretty similar to the Sift Soil spell. You could sit here and use your porters, your Grace of the Elves, your Premier Artifact. It's a really good way to use your Premier Artifact charge every day, actually. 1 hour of just sifting soil here, it has a 50% chance of being a sign of a porter, so it can really bring you some benefit for an hour of a day, nice AFK time, make some money, and then go from there. But this is pretty much a slowed down, easier version of this. Now, if you don't want to use porters, all you need to do is run back and forward to the bank. But what I would really recommend is just spending the cost on the porters. Use your Premier Artifact, even if you need to do this over a period of 7 days. Use your artifacts just to bank it instead. You could also go and just throw it into the storage container as well. That is also an option, depending on how big your soil box is. But yeah, that is screening material. And again, it's not just ancient gravel, it's all the other ones as well. All of them will make you profit. Some will make more profit at a given time, depending on what the demand is and depending on what the price is on the Grand Exchange. That's why you should use the price checker on wiki to find out what's going to be the best money making method at that period of time. But it's a very good method to make money. Again, you do need a decent archaeology level. The better your archaeology level is, the better profit you're going to make. I wouldn't really touch this unless you're probably 80s to 90s, but it just highlights as well. If you're doing archaeology, save your soil. If you're not using the auto screener, you need to either have a higher tier of the soil box or take your magic note paper to note and then sell the soil. The soil is a great way for you to make a little bit more money on the side, and definitely a way to sort of increase archaeology as a money making skill as well. However, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, please make sure to leave me a like. Subscribe to the channel. Any suggestions for future content you want to see or ways I can improve my videos, please make sure to throw them in the comment section. I love reading your guys' comments. They really do help me out and they really do give me some direction on where to take the channel and what content to produce in the future. Thank you guys for watching once again. If you have enjoyed again, just throw me a like. Really, really does help me out. Thank you guys for watching once again. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.